Special committee reports. Special orders of business. The clerk will read the resolution.
STR 11 in memoriam James Klonoski, 1925 to 2009.
The question now rises upon final reading and adoption of SCR 11A. Representative Smith, followed by Representative Brune.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To the resolution. Professor Klonoski, as I could never remove myself from calling him, did not stand on ceremony and would not, I imagine, have loved this one. We attempted to honor him on his last day of the school year, and he would have none of it. My hope today is that we might have an expression of ceremony sufficient to offend him. To the family, it is an honor to honor him and you, and thanks for coming. Professor Klonoski was the father of the dollar checkoff, the rebirth of which his sons are working on now with the support of many people in this room. He was a legendary University of Oregon professor with students ranging from Senator Vicki Walker to Representative Scott Brune to many of the advocates in the hallway right now, to Representative Judy Stigler as a good friend who is in the back of the room, to many others I won't name. The question he asked his students: who controls America? How can we gain, regain, or retain that power? He fostered intellectual curiosity. He encouraged students not to take his word for it, but if we didn't, we were wrong. If there is a short list of Oregonians in the last 50 years who have shaped the political discourse in this state, not merely through their own public words or their own elections or their financial contributions, but through their example and their teaching and their mentorship, it is hard for me to think of anybody who would more obviously make that short list than James Klonoski. As far as I know, I took every class he offered. We stayed in touch as I coached the basketball team on which our best player was a Klonoski family friend. His lie-infested recommendation helped earn this lifelong public school kid admission into Harvard Law School. He was, for many people, a giant. His life was a testament to the notion that the public good does not merely take care of itself. The common interest requires champions, and those champions need to bring along a next generation. And when those champions fall, that next generation needs to say thank you. Frog was a bearded man on 13th Street who sold little joke books. What's invisible and smells like carrots? Bunny farts. Most of his jokes were less appropriate and no more humorous. I apologize, Ramona, I picked carefully. My fraternity friends and I mostly looked down upon this dirty man who dwelled our streets. One day, Professor Klonoski brought up in class that Frog and the man's legal challenges were blockading his ability to ply his trade and remain on the street. And in support of Frog's rights, Professor Klonoski said, "You got to decide who you're for. This system is one of figuring out what and who you're for. And I'm for Frog. Thanks to Jim Klonoski, I'm for Frog too. And so are many other Oregonians. The greatest structural defect in our democracy is that the huge bulk of political muscle is privately interested. It exists to advocate for the financial interests of its members and its contributors. On the other hand, a huge portion of public problems are nobody's job, and that's why they have to be all of our job. There is nobody in my life outside my immediate family who has taught me that lesson and taught others that lesson more frequently and more profoundly than Jim Klonoski. As he might appreciate, we must be priceless. Definition of priceless: worth a lot, not for sale. I appreciate the chance to honor him now. There may be others who want to. I urge An aye vote in the resolution, Mr. Speaker.
Representative Brune.